This is Talk Business and Politics with Roby Brock.
I'm Roby Brock. Thanks for joining us. It was unexpected, it was shocking, and it was under wraps for right now. This past Tuesday night, we learned of the death of former State Senator Linda Collins Smith. She was found at her home in Pocahontas, a result of some sort of traumatic incident, and she had been dead for more than a day. Before the week was over, under immense speculation and rumors, a circuit judge issued a gag order in the case. Here to discuss is Wes Brown with Talk Business and Politics. Thank you for being here. I think shock is not even a big enough word to describe what has gone through Arkansas's political arena this past week with her death.
Not just Arkansas, but it's creating a little bit of national buzz too. A lot of ABC, HuffPost, and a lot of national media are picking up the story. Just maybe because of this, just like you said, the shocking nature of it, but also the surprise nature of it. Linda was, not this past session, but the previous session, she was a staple in the session, basically because of the gun bills that was going in. She was in the Judiciary Committee. She was that handled that, and she was a centerpiece of that. She was involved in the debate on those gun bills that came through the Senate, and she lost her seat, but she was still visited the Capitol quite a bit during the 2019 session. I actually talked to her a couple times. The Senate is a small club, and even if you are no longer a part of the Senate or you retire, the Senate still invites you. The Arkansas Senate.
There's still relationships there that keep
definitely.
Going right
So she came up to the 2019 several times. We talked and asked her what she was doing. She said, well, not really much now, but that she wanted to get into maybe a little bit of lobbying, but the circumstances around it are still pending, so we'll get more details over the next week or so.
Yeah, I talked to a lot of state senators, actually. I saw several of them on Thursday afternoon, and there still was just kind of stunned in terms of the circumstances, not understanding the process, and for sure, just so many more questions than answers, which it will be a while before we get some of those.
Yeah, especially on the gag order.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely.
All right, let's turn from politics and crime to politics and business. A lot to discuss in terms of particularly tariffs and the jobs market. I want to begin with the jobs market because on Friday we got that federal report we've been waiting for. It showed some pretty weak job growth, 75,000 jobs, way below what was expected. And there were revisions to the previous 2 months there. Tell me what you think this is going to lead to.
I think several economists have been kind of predicting a slowdown in the second quarter of the U.S. economy, and the leading edge of the economy has been the job market. What is the job market doing? It's been the most dynamic, the biggest growth in years, and to see that come to an end. Last month, in April, we had 263,000, which like you said, is going to be revised downward, and now 75,000, which is well below Wall Street expectations, which was 180,000. So to see that job market slow down really is a precursor to some other things. You got the Fed meeting on June 18th next month. How will they respond on interest rates?
Cuts there. And we've been seeing some GDP data that gets revised and revised, particularly here in Arkansas. What can you tell us about the jobs market in Arkansas as it relates to right before this report came out? You provided some reporting on that.
Yeah, we did a GDP report. Arkansas GDP report, the federal GDP numbers are 3.2% in the first quarter, but Arkansas are well below the national average. Over the last year, Arkansas's GDP has been 0.9% on average per month. For the month of first quarter, I think we were around 1.4%, which is not half of what you saw the U.S. GDP, the expansion across the United States. So Arkansas is usually, as always, is well behind the rest of the nation, but seems to be falling a little bit faster, at a faster clip than it is normal.
All right, so let's talk about tariffs with Mexico. This is something that you gave us a report on earlier this week, that 5%, which is what the president's talked about, could lead to $45 million in new cost for consumers just in Arkansas. If that were to go up to 25%, as has been threatened, it could be over $226 million. That's going to hurt some people's pocketbooks.
And particularly in the Arkansas farming community, that the trade with Mexico is largely centered on the agri and the farming community, so that will have a big impact. But also, you have manufacturing will also be affected. Car market, car parts, and Arkansas has as you know, up in northeast Arkansas has a really thriving auto parts industry or sector that does a lot of trade with, and then you also have steel and other industrial markets that will be impacted.
And transportation is going to be impacted too, because there's a lot of cross-border transportation with particularly Arkansas firms have a big stake in all of that too. I was surprised to learn in your report on that Mexico accounts for about 7.8% of all the imports into Arkansas. China, which we have been talking and reporting mostly about, almost 45%.
Nearly half of that market, and that just shows you how influential the Chinese market is, not only on goods coming into Arkansas. I mean, they impact every facet of our life, from retail to foods to farming to manufacturing to all the gadgets that we go into our factories. China is a major producer of those things, and also the labor behind it. So it has a huge impact. So these trade tariffs, these ongoing trade tariffs with the Trump administration are having impact on Arkansas.
Picking up on this from some folks in the export community, and I would presume in the import community too, with the election not being that far away, there may be some Chinese officials as well as Mexican officials that just say, let's just ride this out and see what happens, which would really put an economic hurt on the U.S.
Definitely.
All right, got to wrap it up there. He's Wes Brown. Thank you so much. Good to see you as always. Appreciate you. Still to come, just how do Northwest Arkansas and Central Arkansas compare in the sizes of their populations and economy? Jamie Gates joins us for some data points. And Bishop Woosley from the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery may be having a banner year. What could that mean for scholarships? We're back after this.
Each day, the promise of our nation begins again. Arkansas and America moving forward. I help make that promise a reality. It's not for everyone, but people everywhere depend on us.
Oh, I love you too, sweetie.
Trucking delivers, or everything stops. And that's what drives me.
I did.
You'll find us at the end of a lot of long country roads, covering over 60% of the great state of Arkansas. Our 17 electric distribution cooperatives are working day and night to provide reliable, affordable power to over 500,000 homes, farms, and businesses, just like yours. The Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas, your local energy partners.